Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. The time is 6:30 p.m. I'm John DeWanzik, and this is the organizational meeting for the Avon Lake Board of Municipal Utilities. We do this biennially following the elections, and it kind of assigns board members to their roles. So we'll do this meeting, which should be fairly brief, before the regular meeting, which will follow immediately after this meeting. The first order of business, well, first of all, let me say we're missing Mr. Ricky tonight, but we do have 4 members here, and that's still a quorum. Any motion made will require 3 affirmative votes to pass. And we have some, as I said, appointments to make for the next 2 years is the typical length of the assignment. So did I cover everything, Mr. Rush, for this meeting?
I believe so.
Okay, so we'll go right into the meeting, which starts with the appointments, and there's a recommended motion. Mr. Rush, would you like to make that motion?
Yes, thank you. I move that John Dwanzik be appointed chairman for the next 2 years, 2026, 2027, with an additional $1,000 per year in compensation.
Thank you, Mr. Rush. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Schnabel. Discussion. All in favor of the vote, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes. Thank you all. Next motion I'll make for acting chairman. I move that Tim Rush be appointed acting chairman for the next 2 years, 2026 to 2027, without additional compensation. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Mrs. Schnabel. Any discussion? I'm very happy to have Mr. Rush continue as acting chairman. He's been an able replacement when necessary. So any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes. Next one, Mr. Mondello, why don't you make?
I move that the chief utilities executive be appointed clerk of the board for the next 2 years, 2026, 2027, without additional compensation.
Thank you, Mr. Mondello. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Mr. Rush. Discussion? Hearing none, we'll close discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And the motion passes. Okay, next one is acting clerk. Mrs. Schnabel, would you like to make that?
Sure. I move that in the event of the CUE's absence, the CUO be appointed acting clerk of the board for the next 2 years, 2026 through 2027, without additional compensation.
Thank you, Mrs. Schnabel. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Mr. Rush. Discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. The next one is committee assignments. Mr. Mondello, why don't you do the honors?
Sure. I move that the following committee appointments be made for the next 2 years, 2026, 2027, without additional compensation. Wholesale customers, current board appointee, Chairman Dwanzik, alternate board appointee, Mr. Rush. Board compensation, Chairman Dwanzik, alternate board appointee, Mr. Rush. Lorco, current board appointee, Mr. Ricky, alternate, Mr. Mondello. Communications, current appointee, Mrs. Schnabel, alternate board appointee, Mr. Mondello. Finance committee, current appointee, Mr. Rush, alternate appointee, Mr. Dwanzik. HR, human resources, current, Mr. Rush, alternate, Mrs. Schnabel. Buildings and utility committee, current appointee, Mr. Mondello, alternate, Mr. Ricky.
Thank you, Mr. Mondello. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Mr. Rush. Discussion? Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is the meeting times and places. Motion number 1, Mrs. Schnabel, would you like to make that?
Sure. I move that the Board of Municipal Utilities maintain their regular meeting nights as the first and third Tuesdays every month at 6:30 p.m. or immediately after the work session for the 2026 and 2026 and 2027, and that all meetings be held at the Avon Lake Regional Water Office at 201 Miller Road, Avon Lake, unless otherwise noted. I further move that the board continue its tradition of foregoing the second meeting in July and the first meeting in August for a summer recess.
Thank you, Mrs. Schnabel. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Mondello. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. The remaining motion, Mr. Rush, would you like to read that?
Sure. I move that the Board of Municipal Utilities hold any work session prior to its regular meeting on the first and/or third Tuesdays every month as necessary, and beginning at 6 p.m. for the 2026 and 2027, and that all meetings be held at the Avon Lake Regional Water Office at 201 Miller Road, Avon Lake, unless otherwise noted.
Thank you, Mr. Rush. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Schnabel. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Mr.
Second.
Mondello. All in favor of the motion to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Okay, without further ado, the time is 6:37 by the clock on the clubhouse wall. Now we will move to the regular meeting of the Avon Lake Board of Municipal Utilities. As I noted earlier, we have 4 board members here. Mr. Ricky is excused. All votes will be taken by voice vote with the exception of a vote to go into executive session, for which we do have one scheduled tonight. Is that correct, Mr.?
That is correct.
Okay, and that will be done by a roll call vote. And with 4 of us here, 3 affirmative votes are needed to pass any motion. This, of course, is the last meeting of the year for this board. The first meeting of New Year is January 6th. Okay, so that's a few weeks out. And everything will be as noted in the organizational meeting that we just held. Having said all that, we have the first order of business, which is the approval of minutes from the, beg pardon. Oh, yes, very good. Thank you, Mr. Rush. I was in, I believe, too much of a rush. Mr. Rush slowed me down. In our, besides the board here, we have to my far right, Mrs. Schnabel. To her left is Mr. Monroe, then me. To my left is Mr. Rush, and to his left is Mr. Mondello. At the table in front of us is Mr. Urinich, who will be monitoring the public input that comes in online, as tonight's meeting is being live streamed on Facebook and YouTube. Also at the table is outside counsel Anthony Coyne, and in the audience tonight we are honored to have Councilwoman Amy Gentry with us. So we have a public input item that'll be coming up as the second thing after approval of minutes. If you wish to make public comments, there's a microphone and a podium there. Mr. Urinich will be monitoring the comments on Facebook and YouTube, and should any turn up, he will read them to the board. So how about now, Mr. Rush?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. It's an unusual procedure tonight, and I had to introduce 2 meetings and I lost track. So let's see. So the approval of minutes starts with the, I believe,
December 2nd.
December 2nd minutes, which were not approved as of the last time due to they were approved. Okay. Well, they were approved, but the chair had asked for a review of those minutes because there was a complaint from Mr. William Zimmerman that he was not correctly characterized in the minutes, and I had asked for a review of that. Evidently, they were reviewed, and Mr. Monroe, maybe you'd like to share with the rest of us and the public the findings of your investigation.
Yes, based on our, the claim that was made, we did review the video footage from the November 18th meeting, and based on the video footage, our minutes are represented accurately, and we do not recommend any change to them.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Monroe. Is there any questions on that from the board? If there are no questions on December 2nd minutes, we will consider them approved as submitted. Next are the minutes from December, what was it?
No, those are the only ones that needed approved.
Okay,
You're good.
Yep.
no other minutes to be approved? Okay. All right, then let's go ahead and do the public input. Mrs. Gentry, anything from you tonight?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Urinich, anything from Cyber World?
No comments online, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, and we'll close public input. Next item is correspondence. Mr. Monroe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do not have any correspondence this evening.
Well, we're moving along briskly tonight, aren't we? Okay, anything on the board correspondence wise? All right, thank you all. Next item is expenditures on your goldenrod sheets. Is there a motion to approve the expenses from November 29th to December 11th? Someone like to make a motion?
I can move.
Go ahead, Mrs. Schnabel.
I move to approve the expenses for Avon Lake Regional Water dated November 28th through December 11th, 2025.
Thank you, Mrs. Schnabel. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rush. Discussion.
I didn't have anything.
All right. I do have a question about the twice occurring equipment maintenance battery box replacement that appears in Fund 701 and 723, I believe. Mr.
723 and 722.
Okay.
So our
That one.
distribution fund and our collection fund. Murphy Tractor and Equipment Company, that what that represents is that was for the battery box enclosure on our backhoe that we use. Apparently there was one of the batteries, there's two batteries. One of the batteries was leaking in the back, caused the box to corrode. It's, I guess, a matter of one of those, don't actually see it happening. So that's what that cost represents, is replacing that battery box enclosure. And moving forward, speaking with Mr. Kamevsky, it will be part of the operator's routine to take a peek at that.
Okay. So this wasn't a matter of having left it outside and the battery froze or anything like that?
No, we have ample space indoors, heated indoors, that we store our any of that equipment.
Okay. Well, we'll hopefully keep that box checked in the future when we go through our equipment checklist. Yes, Mr. Mondello.
Question between Fund 749 and 704. Line one on both of those. I'm assuming that might be a typo on the 704 line one, the 1.1 or 1.194 million. It's got the same description as
Yeah.
the
Yes, it
37.
is.
I'm assuming that's just the progress payment.
Yes,
That's
it
a
is.
lot of grinder parts.
Yes.
I mean, what do you guys?
Or it's
think?
one heck
Yes,
of a pressure.
I will clarify that. The line item one on Fund 704 is Great Lakes Construction Company, and that is for their pay app for the month of November.
Okay, so the description is incorrect.
Correct.
Okay, could you just give us a new description so we can continue with the motion?
Yes, that would be the Great Lakes Construction Company is the vendor. The description is the water filtration plant improvement project, November pay application.
Thank you, Mr. Monroe. Is that satisfactory, Mr. Mondell?
Wonderful.
Good catch. Any other questions on the expenses? As indicated previously, I'm hoping that in the January meeting, we'll have the final summary of how we did on our percent budget remaining. Everything looks pretty good, but we did do some appropriations and so on a couple meetings ago, so we wouldn't expect to have to do too much more.
Yes, and I don't know if it'll be at the January 6th meeting because they'll be closing, they're working now on closing the budget out. We have necessity payments that are being made right now. There'll be a check run, I believe, Thursday of this week to pay utility bills, necessities, whatnot. So as Mr. Logan works with Finance Department on closing out our budget, I don't know if January 6th he will have that update, but we certainly will have it by the following meeting.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Monroe. Anyone else with comments on the expenses, questions? All right, hearing none, we will close discussion. And all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next item is water filtration plant operator, Mr. Urinich.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We had received a couple of applications. We conducted some interviews for a position of operator at the water filtration plant. As we've talked about before, we have a couple of our senior employees that within the coming years are going to be retiring. We want to make sure that we will not be short-staffed, have a good succession plan in place. We have chosen to extend a job offer to Mr. Elliot Cullen. He is a Class 1 operator, holds his EPA license. He still needs to complete some of the prerequisites. He successfully passed his background check. He just needs the physical, drug and alcohol screening, but as long as there are no surprises there, he will be beginning January 12th, 2026 as plant operator step 1 at the rate of $29.71 per hour.
Okay, Mr. Urinich, what can you tell me about Mr. Elliot Cullen's operator license level?
It's a Class 1. We had opened it up to the possibility of having operators in training where we would really train from a fresh perspective into the industry. He already has his Class 1. He's been working at a water plant for the past 2 years. He had some good recommendations. Some of our current staff had known him. So we are very excited to have him joining our team.
Okay, I'm sure you've apprised him of our benefits that include the cost of the training for licensure and so forth.
Correct.
Good. Any questions for Mr. Urinich from the board? All right, Mr. Urinich, you still have the floor with project updates. I hope you have many pictures and
Everybody's favorite time. So no update on the power plant. I believe this will probably be closed out unless there's any sudden developments, but I don't think we'll be providing any more updates on that. For the water filtration plant improvements, on the screen is the progress of the new filter building. You can see they're starting to add block to the south wall. Before we got to this colder weather, they were really making an effort to get as much of that closed in as possible so that their everyday work environment is a little more contained, a little less weather dependent. So they've almost got the south face completed with the blocks. You can see the scaffolding there. On the north face of the wall, they have completely applied plastic to keep the wind from really flowing through there.
all right.
So they're making good progress on that building. This is the installation of the PAC silos, the powdered activated carbon. It was a 2-crane process to lift those into place from their laying down on the ground. They use 2 cranes to kind of get them into position, but those have been installed on their permanent location, secured. And I think I'd mentioned at previous meetings, there are about 2,000 cubic feet of powdered activated carbon that they'll hold. That works out to about 15,000 gallons, just to kind of give you a definite size there. That'll be a huge improvement. I talked about before, in 1980, when the plant was built, there was much less of a demand for carbon throughout the treatment process. This will give us the ability to have much more on site, make it easier ordering chemicals, because we can, when one silo gets empty, we can order a full truckload. We don't have to worry about trying to coordinate the logistics nearly as closely. So that's a huge improvement that I think we're all looking forward to.
I'd like to ask you a couple technical questions about your picture that you have here. Now, when powder activated carbon is delivered, is it some kind of pneumatic process that pushes it with air pressure into those tanks
Correct.
through hoses? Where does the truck stand to do that?
As far as
Where does it
there's just going to be a quick connect coupling at the base of the tank.
So it's permanent piping out to where the truck stands?
Correct.
Okay.
And that's the same way it's delivered to the plant now. We have permanent connections that they hook up to when they arrive. The difference is we immediately add water to that and produce a slurry. It's not stored in a dry form like it will be in these.
Okay, and that was actually leads me to my next question. How do we keep it dry? So it flows, it has to flow as powder, I guess.
Correct.
How do we keep it dry in the tanks?
Those are completely enclosed. So
No dehumidification or anything in the.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Curious about that, because I know that bulk dry materials have to be kind of kept dry.
I know there is vibratory equipment that, if it compacts or anything like that, a conveyor and keeps it moving.
Okay. All right. Any questions, Mr. Mondello?
How long does 30,000 gallons last?
Really, it's very water quality dependent. Depending upon what we see in the raw water, that really kind of is a case by case adjustment. When you get into the summer months and you tend to get in the algae bloom seasons, anything that could cause taste and odor, that's just something that the plant is constantly accounting for. Algae counts are a big one. The total organic carbon that's within the water, that's another factor that they take in when they're choosing their chemical dosages. And so anywhere from a couple months to about a month,
Okay.
in worst case scenario, is what we've seen in the past.
Mr. Rush?
How are these going to be protected from damage?
They're going to have, bollards, barriers that will be around the base.
Thank you.
Now, it's my impression that activated carbon has much to do with the reported good taste of our water, because it removes some of the taste and odor things. And I remember, maybe you know about this, but I remember 10 years ago or so, Avon secured the production of some soup plant. Is that still there?
Flavor something.
Flavor something?
Yeah, it's I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, a food.
So they're still a customer, and probably their soup tastes better than Campbell's soup, based on.
I mean, anything made with our water.
I wouldn't drink that. I hate to say that I've had plenty of Campbell's soup in my life. They were from Camden, New Jersey. Anyway, that's good, and obviously, again, with all kidding aside, we do have very good tasting water, and that should be something that it would be very desirable for various producers of beverages and other edibles Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Monroe?
I would, yes.
I knew you would. Anyone else with comments? Okay, let's go on to the next item, which is the water bundle project.
Yes, I can
There it looks like a
remember to go back
bundle
to the
of
Tech
water
Wind
there,
project this time.
and then some unbundled water on top of it.
So this is on Parkwood. Installation of the water main. You can see that they are able to work in just about any weather. They will be taking a 2-week break over Christmas and between Christmas and New Year's. That's something that's kind of been standard for UUI. They are slightly ahead of schedule anyway, so this in no way will impact their project, but they've always given their employees that short break during the holidays here.
I think that guy is colder than a well digger's aspiration for a warm winter. That didn't get much of a reaction from Mr. Rush. All right. Anything else, Mr. Urinich, that you would like to add?
And so this is at the intersection of Parkwood and Lake Road. This is kind of indicative of the three-way valves the three valves that we have made standard as part of our project. So depending upon where in the future we may need to isolate a section of the water main, having a valve going off in each direction really gives us a lot more options, and it cuts down on the number of customers that would be affected by any outage. Because of the work that was recently done to Lake Road, you can see they're doing concrete here at this repair. And I believe the next picture will show making sure that the color as closely matches the road as possible. Just to
how is the concrete specified for pouring in such low temperatures?
they do take that into account. It's the cold weather blend that they would use.
Okay,
They
so
add calcium as appropriate.
we put heat blankets on it. That's usually the process, especially right at the surface.
Yes.
Because you are windswept there. Mr. Rush?
Yes, new valves all have to be exercised. These are on a main, so how often will these have to be exercised?
We do 20% of the valves each year. That's part of the maintenance program that we have. We have ones that are designated essential valves. Critical. And those get done yearly.
This is not considered critical, it's just part of the 5-year program.
Correct.
Thank you.
Critical valves in our system would be the ETL valves are critical, so those are exercised every year. And also Electric Boulevard, that's a critical main. We're in the process of, as part of this project, replacing some of those valves that we discovered during valve exercising that are not operating. So.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Urinich?
Brief Tech Win update. We had a successful test with our third-party laboratory. We did discover a cold weather-related programming issue. TechWin was able to provide the updates to their programming to account for that, so that will not happen again in the future. We're doing one more test that is going out Thursday. As long as that is the same results, then we'll proceed with the National Sanitation Foundation testing and move on to approval for that chemical.
Okay. They have like a programmable logic control or something, and they just have to change a couple program steps.
Correct.
Any questions on TechWin? All right, you're off the hook, Mr. Urinich. Next item is the CUE report, Mr. Monroe.
Yes.
What do you have?
Just have 2 items to report on. First and foremost, I want to congratulate Mr. Gibney. He had decided to go back to school so that he could work on his higher education, and he's finished his first semester, and he is working on his associate technical degree with a major in water and wastewater management. And he ended the semester with a perfect 4.0. I know personally how difficult it is when I worked on my master's, balancing work, family obligations, and trying to dedicate the time to that. So we're all very proud of him, and I wanted to make sure that the board was aware of that. You will see tuition reimbursement coming up in January once we open up the new budgets. But because of his experience in the water and wastewater sector and his Class 4 certification, he was given advanced standing, and in essence is going to be able to finish his associate degree in one year. So he estimates that probably about 5 months from now, he would be finishing up. So again, I want to congratulate him and on that hard work.
The board, please extend the board's heartfelt congratulations. For that
Absolutely.
as well.
And the last item that I have is make you aware of a gasoline leak that was reported to us in the early hours of today. I believe around 1 a.m. There was a complaint that came in for a strong odor of gasoline in the area of Moore Road and Electric Boulevard. Our staff, working with the service department, also the fire department, they worked through the night and into to the early this morning on determining where it was coming from. They determined it was coming from a leaking underground storage tank at the gas station on the corner of Moore and Lake Road. Of course, the Ohio EPA has been notified. The owner of the facility is having a contractor come in. They will be required to meet all of Ohio EPA standards, as well as they are regulated under the Bureau of Underground Storage Tanks in Ohio and the fire marshal. We can safely say that it leached through to an old abandoned storm sewer, so there was no discharge out to Lake Erie. Even
That storm sewer was plugged, in other words.
correct. The other, the good thing is our intakes are far enough out, as well as our treatment process, that if the gasoline did reach the lake water, we would be able to treat it. So there's no danger of the drinking water supply, which is a good thing. But the other aspect of that, while we're very cognizant of the drinking water supply, we also own a lot of property in that immediate area. So we have, as we've talked, we've acquired property for our future expansion at the water plant, and we are going to ensure that our properties have not been impacted by this. So we will be taking a very active role in following up with Ohio EPA and the fire department to ensure that everything is done to standards.
Yeah.
A leak in that type of tank isn't something that just happens overnight. So there's obviously something much more going on, and we're going to ensure that standards are met.
Okay. Well, I didn't think of it until you were speaking there, but a point of note for Councilwoman Gentry in the audience, if you have any influence with the Zoning Board of Appeals, really considering what our plans are for the water plant, maybe we ought to zone out gas stations, within 1,000 feet or something, just so that this type of thing doesn't, create a future problem. Because you never know when somebody might come along and it's just commercial property, and if the zoning allows it, then it would be hard to fight it, as Mr. Coyne well knows. But maybe before anything gets out of hand, it would be worthwhile to do that. Maybe you have to get, is this Ward 4, is this Mr. Koss?
That is cost, yeah.
Maybe
Although with the new maps debatable. It might be 3.
Well, if you wouldn't mind
I will,
chasing that
yep.
down, and I'll ask Mr. Monroe and Mr. Urinich to be on top of that, and also on top of whatever remediation is necessary for the same reason as we were on top of what was going on with the power plant. Not that it's our remit to do that, but we do have a strong interest in not having environmental incidents that impact our operation.
I just sent Mr. Shamir a message.
Okay.
He's the council environmental person, so I just sent him a message.
Did
as
you
well.
record me and send it to him? Well, anyway, he'll understand completely.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying, and there's no reason that you need a gas station. Or there's a speedway a couple of miles down the road and so on. And we have them a couple of miles away in Avon Lake. So,
That is all I have, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman. Thank you.
any members with reports, Mr. Rush?
Quick question. This,
We could call this miscellaneous.
well, it has to do with gasoline and stations. I believe we're in control of a property that currently that has 2 fairly recent service stations on the north side. And not so long ago, there were 2 on the south side. One is where the bridge is now. That goes back just a few years. And then where Phil's Shell was at also. Are those tanks gone completely remediated? Any issues at any 4 of those locations?
I can only speak to the property that we own, that we purchased last year. There is a no further action letter on that,
Okay.
on that property. We were provided all of the information, and any remediation and the removal of those tanks has been verified. That was part of their NFA process. So that's the property we own. That's the only one I can say with certainty. But we certainly have discussed the others in the area.
Yes.
So we will, I think this is a good opportunity to ensure that other situations like this don't happen in the future.
Okay.
So in a good opportunity to come up to standards.
Good, planning and zoning would help a lot.
Yes. So we certainly will be following up on the others as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Any members with, Mr. Monroe, do you want to add?
I'm not a member, but I would, in the absence of Mr. Ricky, he did contact me last week to make me aware that he was going to attend the last LORCO meeting, but that LORCO meeting was canceled.
Due to the weather.
No, it was actually canceled because there was a zoning hearing happening in New Russia Township that several of the LORCO trustees wanted to attend that. So they did not have that meeting, and that is all I had to report on.
Okay, thank you. Any other members with other items? I would just like to thank staff, and particularly Mr. Monroe, for the efforts put on the annual Christmas party for Avon Lake Regional Water, and it was very well attended. I don't remember ever seeing as many people attend, and everything worked out well. There was a great deal of holiday spirit and so on. So thank you for doing that.
And Mr. Chairman, I
appreciated.
appreciate that, and I know that staff does as well. I think it was a good time had by all. And I would say that I do have to recognize my wife, who likes to decorate and whatnot. She loves a good party. So she did a very nice job and is very appreciative. She also had some friends and some staff members' wives that helped set up and whatnot. So appreciate all the efforts of everyone.
Okay. All right, Mr. Urinich, any input from the
There's not.
outside? Miss Gentry, is there any public input you'd like to give at this time? Okay, we'll close that. We have a call for an executive session. Mr. Rush, would you like to make the motion?
Yes, prior to making the motion, it says the CUA does not anticipate any formal action upon reconvening the public meeting.
That's correct.
Which is to say, We will be signing off when we go into executive session. So on behalf of the board, let me wish everyone in attendance and those in the audience online a Merry Christmas and safe and happy, prosperous New Year. So Mr. Rush has made a motion. Would someone like
No,
to
there's
second?
no motion yet.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I move to meet in executive session as allowed by Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22 G2, discuss the purchase and/or sale of property for public purposes, and to include the CUE, the CUO, and a representative from Mansard Gavin.
Thank you, Mr. Rush. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Schnabel. This will be a roll call vote. Mr. Mondello?
Yes.
Mrs. Schnabel?
Yes.
Mr. Rush?
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. We will go into executive session when the room is cleared. And again, best wishes to all.